All right, good people. Welcome to our international podcast, Below the Belt. Who vex lose? Who vex? Guys, we are so happy that you're here with us. We are so privileged that you guys are here with us. How you all doing? Let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. Penelope Hudson, Debbie Apple, and Dan Fordyce. Let us know if you guys are hearing us loud and clear. We got a guest today, folks. We ain't gonna let you know who it is, though. It's a surprise. It's a surprise. We can tell nobody. Good to have you folks here with us wherever you're joining us from, guys. We are privileged that you folks are here with we. You're all outside with us. Folks, you're joining us live from the national capital city of Georgetown here in Guyana. And we are so privileged to be we're so privileged to be here with you guys. How y'all doing now? How y'all keeps, folks? How y'all keeps? Do let us know how things are going at your end. Do let us know. Roxanne Aaron, how you doing? And Brenda Bramfitt, how are you lovely ladies doing today? Ladies and gentlemen, we are happy that you folks are here with us. Please and thank you. We are super duper happy that you folks are here with us. They're telling us, guys, it's uh, 28 degrees outside where we are. That's a little hot. 28 degrees outside. They say it feels like 33. It feels like 33. But it's 28 degrees outside with a 10% chance it's going to rain. All the technicians on duty, let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. Oh, we see Penelope has said she's hearing us loud and clear. Good to have you, Penelope. Yolanda Thomas. Yolanda, how you know who coming by? How you know who the guest is? Like your people card. Yolanda, like your people card. We got a guest who's going to be dropping by. Folks, Freddie gone? That's what I want to know. That's one of the questions we're asking today. Is Freddie gone? Is Freddie gone? My Lord. Freddie gone. Freddie come down to low gravy. Low gravy. Boil down. Right? Stew down. Low gravy. And it's not even good tasting gravy too. It's not even good tasting gravy. You know, sometimes you cook the little food and so on. When it's stale, it tastes even better. This one here, rancid. Rancid. Roxanne Aaron, thanks for letting us know you're hearing us loud and clear. Donna Joseph is hearing us loud and clear from Guy Hawk Park. Do give our love to all the folks there in Guy Hawk Park. Good day to you guys. Good day to you guys. Brenda Braffett said, Freddie gone. He gone. He gone. It's true. Yuli Trotman. Good to have you, Yuli, and all the other folks who are joining us. We are privileged to have you guys here with us. We are so privileged to have Brenda Bramfitt and Roxanne Garraway, Rhonda Spencer Tom. Good to have you, Rhonda Spencer. Beryl Crawford said he gone. That's one of the things we'll be talking about today, folks. He gone. Like I feel like I can invite you all to send a few voice notes, a few contributions on this subject matter. Is he gone? Are you going? Rena Cummins. Good to have you, Rowena. Hope you're feeling 1,000% better by now. You're back on your feet and you're firing. Back on your feet and firing. Dolly Anderson Linton, how you doing, Dolly Anderson? Good to have you, Dolly. Dolly was all those fancy name things behind your name. What was all those fancy things? Please let us know. Beatrice Selby's here with us too. Great to have you, Beatrice. Great to have you, B. Guys, we're super happy of each and every one of you. Gil Ali Kwok is here with us. Super to have each and every one of you on with us, folks. Do share the live. Do smash that emoji button. Wherever you're picking us up from today, folks, wherever you're picking up the signal from, wherever you're picking up the signal from, rock and come in. Good folks, rock and come in. Really hope that you guys are well. Really hope that you guys are great. And all the above. Hope all is well at your end. You know, I saw some folks early on complaining of buying some sugar from Gaisuko, packet sugar. And if you see the other proteins inside, if you see the proteins, the impediments in the sugar, my lord, my lord. Gaisuko is fallen, it's fallen. Like they come down to nothing. You see? Like they come down to nothing now. Right? Like they come down to nothing. Jesus have mercy. Father have his mercies. And then we saw also a young lady protesting outside of the state house, begging for employment, and then she's hauled off, detained by the authorities. Right? Detained by the authorities, just asking for a little work. Right? Asking for a little work by state house. And if you can't go by state house and beg a little work, is where you gonna go? Asking for a little work by state house. Oh boy, signs of the times, good folks. Signs of the times, Patricia Sana. Signs of the time. Patricia says you buy the sugar and the protein is for free. We hear you, Patricia. We hear you there in that one. We hear you there in that one. Guys, let's get through some preliminary matters, some housekeeping matters, and then we circle back to some stuff happening internationally, locally, and otherwise. We're going to circle back to some stuff happening locally, internationally, and otherwise. Guys, thanks for joining us. We below the belt, folks. We below the belt. Yep. We is below the belt. Good to have each and every one of you here, wherever you all are joining us from. Privilege to have you good folks here with us. We below the belt, folks. You're giving us a little wake up. A little wake up. All right. We below the belt, good folks. We below the belt. Welcome to each and every one of you guys. We saw this protest outside of the State House, and we're going to circle back to that. We're going to circle back to that. One, is it Brescia, Saskia, Solomon? You can't get work, folks. You're going to let doctor go and do a little part-time for 40,000 a month. Signs of the times, John Jones. Signs of the times. Guys, we are happy to have each and every one of you here. We got to hasten on before we have our guests. Let's get through some housekeeping matters, good folks. Trending out there. Some issues we think you good folks ought to know about. We see China has launched a protest over the U.S. shooting down of their quote-unquote weather balloon. Quote-unquote, U.S. says a spy satellite, a spy balloon, and they knocked it out of the skies. China has launched a stern protest. According to them boys, they have launched a stern, as they put it, a stern protest over the spy aircraft shoot down, as our notation says. They call the act of the U.S. shooting down their spy aircraft irresponsible. You just think what China would have done. Just think about what China would have done. They call the actions of the United States irresponsible. And guys, you know what? The U.S. Secretary of State was supposed to be making a visit to China. He's canceled that. In the light of these developments, Anthony Blinken, he has canceled that visit to China. Yep. We're going to watch and see how this go, good folks, and we'll keep you guys posted. And just to let you know, folks, just to let you know, we understand, we overstand what it even looks like coming out of Barbados. We see a bank teller and his accomplice jailed for flattening a pensioner's account. But people are always plotting and scheming for you. Always plotting and scheming for you. And according to Barbados Nation, as you said, we picking this up from, according to this media entity, bank teller who flattened the pensioner's account. His accomplice who put out a hit on the woman, as well as the as well as the former drug addict. Big hookup show here. Who was enlisted to shoot the woman. They were all jailed when they appeared before the number 4 Supreme Court there in Barbados quite recently. Right? Just imagine, good folks, just imagine you got your little savings there. You got your savings, and you will know them boys watching the little savings more than you know. You will know them boys watching the savings more than you. And so they hatched this plan. They hatched this plan to rob Bugatti with Justice Lurian Smith Bubble. What's happening? What's not happening? A lot of people authorities were here for a couple of days and hoping out, things. They got a flight to be coming in from London to share me. And then stopping here. And then escape to London by future. But of course, said a lot of guys have signed up for the opportunity to visit. All right, the folks are saying they're having some challenges with the audio. Let me see if I can see it loud. Apologies, dear. We don't need that. Let me take it completely off. Let's hope that helps. Let's hope that helped. I took it completely off. I just closed my eyes and I'm speaking into the ether here. Didn't even see the comments. Apologies there. Thank you, Honorable Amanzo Walton is here. See you on the live. Rena Cummins, I see you on the live. I don't know. It's down. The music volume is like 6 here. I don't know what's happening. But the guys are singing. If you guys are singing, it's coming through loud. It's coming through loud. It's about 6% at the back here. Nevertheless, I took it completely off. Don't want it hurting your hearing at all. We took it completely off. Yep. So we're watching the folks there. Got to watch them in Barbados and St. Lucia opening up. This looked like a nice hop over Honorable Amanzo Walton this year. A nice hop over. Gotta watch the price. Gotta look to see what the price is telling us. Lambert, I see your comment there. We've turned the audio off. Don't know what's happening there. Hmm. Wow. So they are gauging this. It's a flight. It's a British Airways flight coming from St. Lucia, coming from London into St. Lucia and then to Guyana. And so the folks were here sensitizing Guyanese, and I'm certain some St. Lucians are going to come too. We am poor. I'm certain some St. Lucians are going to come. We am poor. We am poor. But I think I can take a walk. And this is scheduled to, let me see if I get it right. This is scheduled to begin sometime in March, right? Sometime in March. And this is let me see if I get this right. I really want to get this is the inaugural flight between London, St. Lucia, and Guyana, March 27th. It's scheduled to begin. And it is the St. Lucia Tourism Authority who was here on the ground and said they got some good feedback from Guyanese. Said they got some good feedback from Guyanese on this. I see Joyce Van Kooting is saying the music is distorting the show. Is it still so? I've turned the music off. So I hope you guys are hearing much, much better. I hope you're hearing much, much better. Much, much better. Now, folks, and then we got Freddie to deal with. Well, let me get my guess so he can weigh in on any number of these issues. Let me get my guess. Let me guess Rock and come in. Let me get hold of my guest to rock and come in. I hope the volume is better now. Maxine Monroe and John Jones. I see your comments there. I see your comments. Let me see if I can get our guest on. And we're hoping that we don't have any issues. Let me see if we can get our guest. Yep. Guys, good to see you. Holita Edgill and Joyce Van Kooten. Good to see you, Yolanda Thomas, and all the other folks joining us. We ain't want no music bothering us. We turn up the damn music if we have to, as we have done. Folks, let us know if you're hearing our guest, the one and only, the counselor out of the RDC 4, Regional Democratic Council, Region 4. Among other hats this fellow wear. He hosts his own program. He does a lot of other things. He could be president for this country for all I know. Randy, very good afternoon to you. Welcome. Let's know if you're hearing Randy.
Good afternoon.
Randy, thank you for joining us.
Are you hearing me clear?
I am hearing you clearly. I don't know. We're waiting to see if our beloved listeners and viewers are hearing you clearly. Guys, can you hear Randy? We want you to hear Randy with clear clarity.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Naomi Jockey says yes. They can hear you. St. Romaine Adams, we see you there. Randy, how are things at your end? How is the day going thus far?
Day is going good, I was doing some washing, doing some cooking in the oil republic there, the oil producing republic,
Oh, wow. Wow, that sounds nice. Washing and the cooking. That's the life. A little work, a little food to eat, and you get by.
Yes.
And you get by.
I was doing that while I'm working. I'm working from home today.
Excellent. I wish everybody understood that joy of working from home. And that's how the world is changing, That's how the whole world is changing. I know some of the folks watching us right now also working from home. But you got to be very disciplined, So you got to be disciplined. I can imagine that.
Yeah. Yes, of course. It's easy to be distracted.
Yeah. You feel a television calling you, you feel social media calling you. If your work is not social media, you feel that bed calling you, you look over and say, come in. But Randy, we're following a couple of things. I want to pick your brain on which the Freddie Kissoon issue is one of them. But we saw early on this doctor, Brasher Solomon, protesting in front of the State House, asking for work. Randy, asking for work.
Sharon, I don't know how to feel about that,
Rowena wants to know whether you don't have a wife. That as an aside, I see Rowena asking if you don't have a wife. I am not so.
Oh my.
Yeah. Over to you.
Listen, listen. Maybe the wife is out at work and I'm the house husband.
Yeah, yeah, you holding down the fort. It's a dirty job. Somebody
Yeah.
got to do it. You holding down the fort there.
uh, so yes, Sharon. I mean, I don't know how to feel about that. I open up the papers every day and I see vacancies, Sharon.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it is that the doctor is too qualified for those jobs that I'm seeing in the papers.
Perhaps you got a lot of part-time job out there. A lot of part-time job, a nice 40,000 when the month come. But I didn't think you put yourself
Yes,
through medical school and all of that to rock back for 40,000, you know.
right, right. But it's a sign of the times, Sharon. It's a sign of the times.
I
That is what it is.
totally agree with you. Totally agree with you on that front. Signs of the times. And I think this whole issue with the economy and all that goes with that, signs of the times. I know you got a heavy emphasis on sports and seeing sports go right in
Uh,
this country. Signs of the times as well. Signs of the times
but
as well.
I think that is an important thing for us to discuss, future. This idea, because we see those scholarships opening up opportunities for persons to further their education. Hopefully, University Guyana before 2025 is going to be free. There are students who are um, continuing their education at these event locations and all of these technical institutes. But are we creating a space in the workforce to absorb those people who are coming? And as we talk about the doctor maybe too qualified for those jobs at the level, this is a serious issue that the government has to think about. And this is why most of the qualified people leave. This is a serious issue.
Correct is right. Correct is right. And as you said, I think so elegantly, signs of the times. It's signs of the times.
Mm-hmm.
If folks cannot get meaningful work, what hope is there in your own country? I would hate to think they're blacklisting Dr. Solomon because I know she had some issues with the system and spoke up against that. And you know how these folks petty, Randy?
Oh,
We
yeah.
know how these folks can be petty.
Yep. Yep. It is sad to see that she has to come to resolve to that. Because she said, a little video that she's been writing and getting pushed around by the office of the president. Well, hopefully the president listens to her because as much as I don't like to see those sort of things, she had to be at a point where she felt that this is her only option now because she isn't getting any sort of feedback from her new attempt to make contact with the president.
Correct, correct,
So,
correct. And he's not a fellow who's too keen on listening. He has listening skills. No, he likes to ask you a question and then jump in. As soon as you say two words, he jump in. So his listening
yeah,
skills not too healthy at all. So I don't know how far that's
yeah,
gonna go.
yeah. It's something that we have to think about though because it speaks to a bigger problem, and I think we don't have enough conversation in the country about creating a space to absorb these thousands of people who are graduating. University Guyana had their graduation the other day,
Yep, yep,
right?
yep, yep, yep. And you know what
And
we got to? Yep. Go right ahead, Randy.
no, I'm saying, where is it? Where is it? Where is the space for them? Because there is such a thing as you're being underemployed because you have a master's, you have a degree, but then you're working for minimum wage. How how are you supporting your family? You paid some in some cases paid to qualify yourself, and there is nothing available for you. There's no movement in the public service. There isn't a space in the private sector for you to kind of move up and make the sort of money that you expect to make after you would have finished your masters. Then that is a serious problem that needs to be addressed.
Correct is right. Very, very serious problem that needs to be addressed. One of the things we've been tracking, Randy, is
Mm.
these folks who are working part time. And people take the part-time job because like Dr. Solomon, There is nothing else happening. There is nothing else happening.
Yeah.
And it was brought to our attention. Look, one young person went on for one of these part-time job and was asking, why did I do, you went fifth form and sixth form and all the forms and all the CXCs and the CAPE and everything. You got, 30 CXC subjects. Can't find a job. Can't
Yeah.
find a job.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of it if I only have left school for come and go and cut grass at the back of some police station?
Right. Right. And Chad, I know many examples of persons who went to did their PhD, went to the university Ghana, and they have found it more profitable to go and set up a stall and go to the market, to establish market, and be the proprietor of that because the hassle of that 9 to 5 job it is paying off. And so this is the situation of now. This is that's a reality. And I think as a government, you have to pay attention to these sort of macro and microeconomic issues that affect the lives of people. How is it that you are creating that space? I know this government has a very heavy private sector slant in their approach to things. But the problem with that is that even in the private sector, there isn't any move. You there? Hello? Hello? Hello?
I'm here, Randy. Apologies. A heavy
Yes,
private
no
sector
problem.
slant indeed. A heavy private sector slant indeed. And what we're seeing here is some of the repercussions of that. You have a
Of
balance
that.
on
Yep.
on the other side. It's important that we support the private sector and we give them the tools to do what they have to do, the capacity and so forth, and we set the environment that the private sector can flourish. But it's something else when you go over on the other side. And we're starting with this budget here that we just had. It's a private sector budget.
Yep. Yep.
It's a
It,
private
it is
sector budget.
definitely.
But that being
Sharon,
said,
I want to ask you
go right
if
ahead, Randy.
you've ever asked any average guy what they're excited about in this budget. If they can point to three things that they're excited about in the budget. I did this experiment, I asked average people who would have been engaged in listening to what the budget has to offer. And I said, what are three things that you're excited about? Most persons could have only point to one, which is $40,000 one-off payment to serve because we care brand. And that's a one-off payment. That is going to affect your life in any significant way. But that is the heart of what the opposition would have been saying in Parliament for those 2 weeks. Where is it that the average man can turn to in this budget and say, this is for me,
Correct is right.
you know?
Correct is right. And we've been asking those very questions, and we saw an interesting letter to the editor, which we featured. I think it was yesterday morning on our program, in which the NACTA poll. This is I think the North American Teachers Association, some worries meant like that, suggests that 88% of Guyanese were happy with the budget. So I don't know who they're polling, but they suggested 88% of Guyanese are happy about the budget. Randy, that being said, Freddie Kipsoon used to be somebody in this town. Used to be somebody in this town. And I cringe now. I cringe now when I see what Freddie has come to. I pray God, Randy, when my best days are behind me, I understand the time and I go and park. I go and park in a corner and, give you time maybe to mold in young people or something like that. Or just look after your grandchildren and come out to politics and commentating on social issues and so on altogether. Because this is like what I read years ago in an autobiography of Nancy Reagan, what she called the long goodbye. Right? This is it here. This is a long goodbye. Um, Freddie should just go. Should just go.
Yeah.
I read a brilliant paper written by Freddie in 2010 about uh, the racist PP government. Fantastic piece of work as he looked at how institutionally the PPP operates racism in this country. Them days long gone for Freddie. Long gone. I've been kind of cringing and kind of looking for that person, but he's a shadow of his former self, Randy. And we got the video excerpts to prove it too.
Yeah. But before we go to the video, my take on this. Now, let me go back here.
Go back because I should have done the
Yeah,
correcting and said the context for our listeners and viewers that you had this
please do,
falling
please
out
do.
with Glenn Lal and Freddie Kissoon at the newspapers there, where he worked for a number of years. I was made to understand that he was fired from the newspapers, fired from UG, fired from the newspapers. He got a little track record now building up here. Um, and he hasn't taken it too well at all. He's been on social media that he condemned. He has condemned people like me from social media and you, and we are always on social media and so on. And now he is trying to get a second life, trying to get a second breath out of social media. He has now taken to social media. And I think when you leave a job, you know, whether they fire you or not, you gotta choose how you leave. And some of the things he's been saying is not good at all. Randy, take it from there.
See, studying international relations. Fortunately, Freddie soon as one director. And I found his approach quite refreshing. I found his approach quite refreshing. With a conventional approach to history, quite interesting and refreshing. And so, from those days, I saw someone who had been filled with substance and the fact that he was lecturing there was a good thing. So I will say to you, I observed Freddie over the years, and I read his columns, and he became more and more somebody who was searching for relevance. And in this search for relevance, even as you say, this long goodbye, he has allowed himself to be relegated to be the and treated like a at the hands of want to be journalists. I know persons will see the video, but it is sad to see somebody of that grounding as someone who people used to cherish and hold dear their opinions.
Correct.
Even, these people like this, I mean, Freddie has done this to himself because I believe in his search for relevance, he has sort of given away any credibility because in order to stay relevant, he felt that he needed to jump on this side of the fence, then jump on that. He said, I remember campaigning in 2015 with Freddie, campaigning with Freddie and Freddie talking so vehemently against the PVP. But it's this wavering and double-mindedness that has for me, degraded his credibility. And now he has allowed himself to be aligned with this guy named Critic.
Oh, Bardness.
And it has really done bad for him. And I know you will show the video. I think the video will give the listeners a better opportunity to see what we're talking about.
Yeah, well, you had this very bad breakup of
with
Gildari and Freddie, and you had all of that. But this more recent one, where he talks about his former employer, Glenn Lal, I think it's in such bad taste. Let's give the viewers a listen to it, and then we pick up on the other side, Randy.
past 28 years. My daughter is well taken care of now. I don't need no money. I don't need no fancy things. I am going to allow someone at my age to assault my dignity like that. What do I need in life? I came up against the presidency of Forbes Bonham right up to David Granger. Given who I am and given my activism, I could have gone to each of those presidents and asked them for a better life. I never did. Mr. Lal went on about me being in the mouthpiece of the government. This is what he said on his radio program. I'm asking you to kindly listen to it. He said, I'm in the pay of Mr. Jagdeo, and I am getting quite a lot to do Mr. Jagdeo's business. And in the same breath, he called me to say, why you on the Freddie Kisun Gildari show? And he quoted me as saying, man, they're giving me something. So I'm getting this large sum from Jagdeo, yet I told Mr. Lal, I'm doing the Freddie Kisun Gildari show because I'm getting something. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I could have gone to 6th president and sold my dignity. I worked at university for 26 years and nobody told me what to teach in class. I refuse for any president to buy me. I refuse for the university to tell me what I must teach. And I would not allow, and Gildari will have to forgive me, and you will have to forgive me. I would not allow a semi-literate man jumping around like a monkey on a radio program to tell me what to write in my column. And after 28 years, no, not at my age. No, I'm not a Glenn Lal. I think I've said enough, and that.
Freddie's like a city without a hero, Randy. And I know you're gonna unpack that, but it's there's so many contradictions there. There are so many contradictions there, and I'll only pick out a couple of them. Now, Freddie has said for a long time that he was hoping that the coalition government would approach him with something. And he's always vacillated. He wanted to head NIS at one time. He wanted his job back at UG another time. He's always said he expected the coalition government would have approached him, right? Mind you, he hasn't said to date. And Glenn Lal is perhaps not the only person, because I heard Darren Wade sitting right on that show asked him, well, rather told him, you take him pay from the PVP. He has never refuted that. He has never refuted that.
Nope.
Right? He has never refuted that. And the part that is most distasteful, now Freddie has worked a lot of years at Kaitro News, right? I don't know the educational standard or stature of Mr. Lal, but let us be fair. Glenn Lal has built that paper into what it is, right? Into what it is. And as smart as Freddie is, what has Freddie built? Right? As smart as he is, 7th year, what has he built?
A repetition.
What has he built? Right? You worked for that man, right? That man fed you, paid you, perhaps paid you well because he stayed there for a very long time. And now you can look back and say that man is half-educated, something to that nature. Huh? No, if Freddie can talk about a man who he has worked with for years like that, how would he speak about you, Randy? How Freddie would speak about me? You see? Go right ahead. Unpack it for us.
No, as I said, before, I'm going to stick with my analogy of the whole Freddie situation, in that this is what happens when you search for relevance, right? And I mean, outside of Kaitro News, where else would Freddie be relevant? You get my point?
Mm-hmm.
And so he owes the Kaitro News a gratitude for building his reputation,
But he
right?
thinks it's the
I
other way
mean,
around.
outside of,
He thinks he has
he
built.
was a lecturer at the university, yeah.
Uh,
But outside of that, as you said, what has he built? And so even, and I think that what you said is correct. This idea that, look, after I campaigned in 2015 with you, they would offer me something, and I think he's still carrying that grudge,
he is.
that ill feeling of being slighted. I don't know what it is, but I think you are onto something there, because he has mentioned it before that he was not approached by the government, and so Freddie, Glenal might be correct when he said that, look, you're a mouthpiece now for the government, and again, his reluctance to answer the question or to deny outrightly that he's being paid by the PPP speaks volumes.
No, nobody can fault you if you're being paid by the same people who once show fecal matter in your face. We did, took out the vegetation out of the trench outside your house, right up to you and right past you. I don't know if stranger things have happened, but if you want to go and work for them boys to eat a bread, right? We understand how the times going. Science of the times. If you feel you got to eat a bread from them boys because you don't know when the next tide coming in, so be it. You see, but you got to be true to that, and don't got people and no Ferris wheel or merry-go-round here, as though suddenly you could see all of the virtues in the PPP, right? You got people here who got some legitimate experiences of racism in this country. Can't see the way why Dr. Salmon can't get to work in this country. But he said, no. Your friend's a good president. Everything nice and dandy. Everything nice and dandy.
Right.
Don't come wrong with funny like that.
It's as if he had lost his objective eye because of what is happening behind the scenes, whether or not he's being paid.
Yeah. And you know how the mighty have fallen. We got another excerpt here. And how I seek birdness.
Yeah.
One talk to this man who put himself out there as this scholar par excellence, and this column that Glenlal refused to comment on, that was in his estimation so scholarly and sociological and political analysis. It's only he is of that opinion. You see, he and his dog, I'm certain, are of that opinion that this article was all of these things. But show me your company and I'll tell who you are. My skin cringe when I see what this fella has been reduced to. My skin cringe. Let's take a look at this other piece. This is Freddie, you all boy, and Birdness himself. Now, oh my Lord. I think this one says it all. Let's take a look, Randy. Let's take a listen.
Nasty rhetoric.
No, we rang. You come to rang bang there, brother. Hey. Hello, good night.
Good night. How are you?
Hi, how can I be of help to you, ma'am?
Well, I'm hoping I could be of help to you. There's a concern I have, and I'm not sure if it's something that you might be interested in.
You got to tell me quickly, because I lose interest fast.
I live in Canada.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so here's the thing. I befriended a man. He says that he is cybersecurity, head of cybersecurity for the current government, PPP. This man...
You have what? You and the man are in a relationship?
No, we did not have a sexual relationship. He was trying, but I was too smart for his ass.
Well, you got thing. Unless it's me, you hooking up, you keep the story to yourself. Being interested.
But just a minute. Could you let me speak to the callers too?
Don't want caller? No, but what you want? You want massage them?
I want to speak to the
That lady will call and say she know somebody doing cybercrime for the PPP.
Excuse me.
Man, Freddie, you come for waste time on this program.
Excuse me. When the people call, just let me talk.
No, but what you could tell she? You tell me what you could tell she.
I wasn't talking about her. Just...
Oh, right. Well, when it makes sense, I can let you speak.
No. I'm going to speak.
No, but what you could have tell she? You tell me really, you want...
No, I'm not talking about
you want your number?
No, I'm not talking about her.
Oh, right.
I'm just talking about... Let me...
Randy, you just take it. Take it. Take it. mm, mm,
I'm, I'm
mm,
looking at the comment. Somebody said two madmen.
mm. Train wreck. Train wreck.
Oh Jesus!
Mm. Wow.
And you know what's the problem there, Sharon? It seems as though we have two people there. One trying to in Freddie is trying to represent himself in some sort of objective manner. The problem with that particular call is that the critics smell the rat in that this woman was going to say something bad about the PVP.
Mm-hmm. And probably one of his friends. Probably one of his friends too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so he had to cut off the woman quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
That listen, to see Freddie be spoken to like that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a sad. I mean, I think he will look back on that. He will go home and sit down and reflect. I don't see this lasting much longer. I think he's going to take your advice and just go.
Mm-hmm. My God. I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him. As I'm certain lots of Guyanese do. You know, to see a man who had the power of a great intellect, but nothing lasts forever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what life is. Is what life is. My skin still crawling, you know. Haven't watched that. My skin still crawling. When you got boredness talking to you anyhow, like that, you know, he should have done there what Gildari did to him, get up and leave. Right? Freddie could put any camera in his house, in his study, and talk to the world. I don't know why he needs to subject himself to that foolishness. Right? He can subject himself to your own foolishness. You can have to add more foolishness on top of that.
Yep.
That's madness. That is madness.
Yeah.
And that is what the other side, really and truly, is offering to this nation. That is their offering. Right? They say, come and listen to us.
Sad.
Come and listen to us. The woman can't get the boredness attitude is a different attitude. The woman can't get a word out. You have a calling program, but you don't want to hear all views. Right?
Yeah.
And it's a bad day when you think everything that comes out of your head gotta be the right one. You know what the woman was going to say. He prejudging. I know where you're going with her. I ain't want to hear. Right? And then it's the lewdness. Unless you got something far for me. Sweet Jesus. My God.
But this is the man that the vice president feels most comfortable sitting down and talking with.
Because, Counselor, birds have identical plumage assembled together in close proximity.
Ah, my word.
Yes, that is where we are. Sad to say, that is where we are. And Roxanne says true. Right? Vashi Magnat says Guyana soap opera. Naomi Drucker. I don't know. This is days of our lives as young and old restless. I don't know. How do you frame that? Right?
Yep.
As the world turns, signs of the times. You know?
Oh, my.
This is what they offer on the other side. This is the foolishness. No, I think you framed it correctly, Randy. That you could go to sit down. Well, everybody knows they're gonna get bored and that's all the questions. Right? He can never be accused of depth, breadth, and depth and be found guilty. Never. They ain't gonna handle the questions. And then say, ask me this. That's where we there. That's where we there.
That's where we are.
Right?
Sure, before you go, I wanted to
go right ahead.
I wanted for us to touch on two electoral issues in the news.
Go right ahead.
And we know that local government, you can talk more about this. Local government was scheduled for last year.
Correct.
And subsequently pushed to this year. I see that the work plan for local government has been approved and we're moving forward. Additionally, the court is supposed to hear the appeals, the elections appeal that was thrown out, and it's at the appeal court. That's supposed to be happening today. I don't know if you have any more information, or probably later down in the program this evening,
Correct.
you'll
Correct.
unpack that.
Our ears are to the ground. We know that
Mhm.
arguments were going to be made before the Court of Appeal on election petition 88. But that's as much as we have at the hour. Definitely, we're going to keep the folks posted as to where that
Mhm.
goes.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Right.
you know, oh my God, this is what happens when you get to power with invalid votes. You know, this is the kind of society you have. The whole scale foolishness and the line. The fellow said 88, the NACTI poll, 88% of the country loves the budget. You see,
They love that it's a big budget. This on.
right? But a big budget would indicate to them, if they love it, it got something in it for them. Look. Let's take the pulse of the nation. We have been looking at the issue with the rice farmers who complaining about spare parts going up,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the government said they have put measures in place since whenever for that not to happen. They're going to talk to GRA now, right? We just finished talking about the private sector and how sometimes they overbalance, right? Them boys and passing on nothing to the small man, whatever tax breaks or whatever they have gotten to bring down costs, if they got anything at all. Right? But I got to tell you what they tell me. They said they have given stuff to the private sector in which spare parts should not be going up. I think what the rice farmers were really asking for was a brace from the government because things tight.
Yep.
Right? Clearly, they ain't singing the praises of this $781.9 billion budget. And if they are the ones making money there and they're crying out, imagine the small man who carrying home this $70,000 a month, $60,000 a month.
Yeah. I it's sad, and you know, Cheryl, I don't know if you saw the Ministry of Housing rolling out these low and moderate income houses.
Oh, well. Go right ahead. Oh, Father.
I don't know if you saw them, but I am
Yeah.
hoping that I'm going to
Yeah.
tune in tonight, hoping that you show the nation
Yeah.
these houses.
Well, Randy, they say the house is so small, you got to come outside to turn around and go back in. You can't turn around in the house. You got to come outside and turn around. They say if you throw down your bath towel, it's
Wow.
wall-to-wall carpet. Right? The houses are
Jesus.
small. All the
Oh,
land,
we
all the
cannot be.
money.
I know we could do better than this for this oil money, man.
And you see, that is information, Randy. You were there in the National Assembly when we were quizzing them. For the
Mhm.
information,
Mhm.
look, man on a mission, for instance, what informs the size of house they're giving people? You got some matchbox house, then I see some upstairs and downstairs. Then I see some one story. What informs? You know, if you have a 3-person family, does that says you can have a house on stilts? If it's you as a one man, does that mean you can got a flat house? What informs the policy where housing is concerned? Then we go back to these matchbox houses.
The whims and the fancies of the president or the vice president.
And then another story
That's
we
what
heard,
informs it.
no sooner the budget was approved, Randy, some folks made contact with us and say if business people given these houses, you know, pay for these houses, how come they getting 500 million for build houses? Does it mean the business people getting back the money? Now, that was an interesting question. Was an interesting question. Right?
Those are good questions. Yeah.
It's a pack of madness. You got housing doing house. You got communities doing house. You got the president man on mission initiative doing house. Right? And what was most ludicrous, like Freddie and Birdnest together, I saw over the weekend that Dharmlal is the chairman of the man on mission for Region 4. Oh my. I thought you had one reputable, upstanding people there. one of the things they're saying they are fighting against gender-based violence and domestic violence. I thought it was real credible people like the Ellen the All-Stars. They're really scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
They don't want. They just want to go. All they want out of that is PR. They don't want anything out of that. They don't want it to be something that is credible and
Yeah,
and and
yeah,
um
yeah,
upstanding.
yeah,
They want good PR,
yeah. It's a host of
and that's
scatter.
it.
It's a host of scatter shots we got happening, and not no real plan. And it's not only us seeing that. We saw Christopher Ram in his organization, Focus on Budget, said the same thing. Starbuck News. So they know where they're getting these numbers from. These programs are hobbled together, no proper planning, right? While folks, I'm certain, happy for a little dollar in the pocket. I never refuse money, if it's for 1,000 a month or how much ever. Don't refuse money, so you won't go and take it, right? But folks
Exactly.
say at these schools, these part-time jobs, at one little school, they got a staff of 8 and functioning well because the school is small. Could be 16 person. It's the regular staff at the school. They add 40 part-time people to that. I mean, how much bush you could cut on a daily basis with 40 persons? You see how much water you could wipe, how much garbage you could carry out, right? With,
I I am sure that these were some part-time workers I saw today cleaning the side of the road. They had like 4 or 5 men for every 10 meters,
wow. I think it's some
and they
part-time
were sweeping
workers.
and so.
I think it's some part-time workers that got on these walkabouts with earphone too. A whole set of strange-looking people walking behind you all over the place, like it was a big crowd. I think it's part-time workers. I think it's
But you see,
honest to
they
God.
have to do this. They have to split up the money small so they could touch as many people as
Aye.
possible because
Yes.
it is an attempt to influence
Yeah.
votes.
Remember, the folks
So
told us.
we don't want to give 10 people $80,000, which is a little over the minimum wage. No, we can give 20 people 40,000 because we want to spread the wings wide. So look, we give 20 people $40,000.
Scatter
Now,
shots.
yes.
Yeah. And you know what? The folks tell us they're not paying NIS. They're being paid in cash. That's number one. There's no check. There's no accountability, right? They says some people fall out of the part-time work program. The name's still on the payroll and they get their money every week. Well, somebody getting the money. So as you said,
Somebody gets
it's
any
more
money.
things for the boys. Well, I think the one that really stood out to me, the story that stood out to me, and I've said it here before, the people in Region 6 told us, right? And they went to a health center, Randy. The woman said she sat down, with the visitors waiting to see the doctor. And then this woman next to her said, who you come to see? She said, well, I'm waiting to see the doctor. She said, well, go right in. She said, well, I see y'all out here, so I'm waiting. But turns said, no, always part-time workers. They ain't got seats for the people behind the counter or wherever else they got room and so on. So in the waiting area where they got the seats, there's where the people sit down. There is where the folks sit down.
Yep.
So much workers now at these schools, quote unquote workers, right? The part-time workers working part-time. Right? So if you got to come 3 days per week, you might only go one. Because if we can't get 80 people working 1 day or 3 days,
Yeah.
so party can take 1 day, another party can take 1 day, another party can take 1 day. But it's looking nice, like if the employment figure in the country high and everything nice.
But
Folks,
you see, the thing is that this government has money, and it's as if they don't know what to do with it.
yeah. I got a couple
So
ideas.
instead of creating proper sustainable employment for people that can give people a livable wage, you're doing this 101 part-time job. They give people 40,000 that all they could do is buy groceries for the month.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Randy, I hear you say buy groceries for the month. I know where you shopping, but I want to be introduced to wherever you buy these groceries for the month with 40,000. I want to this place, right? I want to this place. I know if you buy Andrew's supermarket, In South, if you are where you're taking this 40,000 per month, but I want to be introduced to this place because I always looking like
You
the
go
average
get some
citizen for better
groceries, some
rates.
groceries.
That sounds better. That sounds better. But we're in a rough spot. We're in a rough spot, and we can only do this together, you know. I would dare say all the answers don't
Yeah.
reside on the other side of the political aisle in this country. Together, the problem that we have it now is that these folks think they're alone. They think they're alone got all the answers, and that's why we're in the country that we're in. Housing, you name the sector. That's why we're in the country that we are in. Right?
Mhm.
I saw a sign in a health center.
Mhm.
I'll see if I can show that this evening. The sign in the health center say, when you're coming for your dressing, bring your own gauze.
What?
Bring your own gauze. $781.9 billion we poured into the economy. Is the top 1% we make it richer, you know, because the money ain't going down. Health
Uh-uh.
centers and got the basic drugs. Bring your own gauze. You're coming for your dressing.
Wow.
You see that? You got a doctor, got to kneel down in front of the state house and beg for work, for meaningful employment in one of the richest countries on earth per capita. Right? Them thing is some good on paper, biggest budget ever, fastest growing economy, biggest GDP and all that. Nice on paper, but the reality is that the people at the bottom suffering, as we told our viewers this morning on FYI, as we said yesterday morning as well, Randy, I've noticed a trend. Like them boys even got the money now for buy the guns. It's sheer knife stick up. A man walk in a Chinese store and rob about 50 people with a knife. With a knife.
What?
Right? Relieve patrons of their valuables with a knife. Some men jump in a taxi just overnight here. 3 men on Cam Street hijack the car with a knife. Like the money even circulates for them buy a gun. His knife point stick up now.
Well, I see
Jesus.
the Home Affairs Minister meeting with the Private Sector Commission to talk about crime.
The first solution, he has to go. The first solution is that he has to go. That's number one. And then Hickens got to go off on pre-retirement leave. Let me bring in some young people, you know, professional policemen, and, you know, do some damage, arrest crime once and for all. That's what we got to do.
Yeah.
Let's start there. You could.
We got real problems, sir. We got real problems.
Yeah. Yeah. That we can agree on.
But, you know, amidst the problems, I will end by saying that, you know, I hope people enjoy the Mashimani celebrations. The
Correct.
school Mashimani competitions are going on around the country.
Yep.
Yeah, I am looking forward to seeing some good performances, soca, calypso, chutney.
Yes, I'm looking forward to some of them.
And of
as well.
course, on the Big Road March.
Correct is right. Randy, thanks for spending this time with us. It's been a privilege.
Yeah.
You made the you made the program special. Thank you so much for coming by.
Well, no problem, buddy.
Have a fantastic afternoon. Folks, I think that's our time. I think that's our program. Randy, thank you so much. Marty Lorma, we see you there. Maria Vera, we see you as well. Vashti Magnol, Donna Liverpool, we see you guys as well. So good to have you here. Each and every one of you. I see Candeline and Legit is here too. Have a fantastic afternoon, guys. We're going to see you guys back right here at it tonight. Final broadcast for the day. Back here tonight. Thanks for joining us on our podcast. Below the belt, who vex? Who vex lose? Thanks for joining us, good folks. Thanks for joining us. I'll wake you all up a little bit now. I know you're all telling off down there. I'll wake you all up a little bit. Thanks for joining us, good folks. Thanks for joining us. Each and every one of you, have a fantastic rest of the afternoon. Something to quicken your spirit now as you head into the afternoon. To quicken you. Something to quicken you. Good to have you folks here. I see Naomi Joker asking me to bring on Freddie. I want to leave the sanatorium over on the other side. I want to leave it right to it, sir. Folks, thanks for joining us. That's going to do it for us. Have a great afternoon. Stay safe out there. Stay safe out there, guys. Thanks for joining us.